Alright, so I'll be changing the thermostat on this All-American today, and the first thing we need to do is go ahead and drain out some of the coolant. So we're going to open up this petcock on the bottom of the radiator and drain out some of the coolant. Alright, that should be enough. We'll go ahead and close off the petcock. So the thermostat is located here in the thermostat housing. So we're going to go ahead and take off this hose first. Let's see if I let out enough coolant. Alright, so we'll just set the hose off to the side and go ahead and break these loose. And they're not that tight, so when we put them back on, we want to be very careful so we don't break them. So the thermostat's job is to actually control the amount of coolant that flows through the engine, which will control the temperature. It's designed to keep the engine at one uniform temperature. I'm pretty sure this one was probably 190 or 195. For this new one, I chose to go to 180 degrees because it's an industrial application and it runs hotter. If you go on the Cummins forum, everybody will be like, whoa, whoa, don't do that, you'll lose miles per gallon because the engine's not running as hot or as efficient. But this thing kind of runs hot anyway because it's doing a lot more work. So, there's the housing. We're going to go ahead and clean that up. And then here's the thermostat itself. Woof! There it goes. There's the old thermostat there. The seal is right on here. These little things are called jiggle valves. The thermostat actually holds the coolant in the engine until it's warm enough, and when it reaches that temperature, it opens up. And the way you actually would test these thermostats is put it in a pot of hot water with a thermometer, and then you can check and actually see when it opens. So we want to be very careful not to knock anything down into water jackets there. But we want to clean this up before we put it all back together. So here's the new thermostat. Here's the old one. Make sure you put it back in the right way. What's that say? 58 millimeter? Looks like this one had one replaced before. I don't know if that one's a Cummins one or not. Oh, that one's 180 anyway, so. Alright, we'll go ahead and put that back in. Alright, so here's the cleaned up thermostat housing. We're going to go ahead and put a little RTV in there to seal it just in case. You shouldn't have to because there's a seal on the thermostat, but just in case, we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so this only goes on one way. You don't want to put too much RTV on there. I tried to keep to a little, so we'll go ahead and put that on. Put that in place. Put my bolts back in. Very important not to over-tighten these. Most of the time when these thermostats fail, they'll fail in the open position, which it'll just never get hot enough, but if they fail in the closed position, then it'll keep holding the coolant back, and eventually the engine will overheat, because it can't circulate coolant. Go ahead and put this hose back on. I'm going to put this hose clamp down a little bit further because this housing was pretty corroded and pitted, so just to make sure it seals, I'll put the clamp down a little bit further. Go ahead and fill her back up and then check for leaks. Now if it had green in it before, make sure you put the same stuff back in. However, clear mixes with everything. If it's global, I should say. Also keep in mind if it's 50-50 mix that you're putting in, or if it's just concentrate. This is concentrate, so I'll need to add water too.